Okay, so excited to have you guys here tonight. If you can mute yourself as you're coming in, I haven't figured out that technical thing on how to work with that. But everybody mute yourself as you come on and make sure your cameras are on because we love to see your smiling faces. And I know it can be intimidating if some of you guys are new, but I promise you, as long as you are dressed, it doesn't matter. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up in prayer. And we're just going to dive into what God has for you tonight. You could be hearing, somebody else's story and how they're getting started with the business and this journey about sharing these products with others. And it is truly a gift. The way that I tell my team is like, what other great gift could we do where we could literally impact the kingdom? If we're getting people to feel their best, they're then going to share with other people because they're feeling their best. And then God's light just keeps shining and moving forward, right? And so that's the beauty of this is like you get to do that. You have that incredible opportunity now. So I want you to keep your eyes open and your ears open as you were listening to all of this tonight and hearing kind of one person's story and how it could resonate with yours. So I'm going to go ahead and pray really quick and make sure not all these are for me. Okay, nope, we're good. Okay, dear God, thank you so much for all of these beautiful people that are on tonight. We just pray that whatever's on their hearts, that they share that, we're able to touch them, help them move in this business that you've put into their hands. And we just pray and just thank you for putting this opportunity in this community for all of us to share, to be able to help other people feel their best and move forward. We're here to help people move forward. And so thank you again for tonight. And we cannot wait to see what you do. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so tonight, the beauty of this is I want to ask, how many went to convention? Did anybody go to convention? Right? Pretty powerful. I hope that you took it away and you just it was a whole new ballgame for you and it opened up your eyes because a lot of you might be extremely brand new. Maybe you just came to convention and now you see your eyes in a different way of doing this and sharing this, but you don't know what to do or what that looks like. So that's what we're here to help you with and kind of coach you into what steps to take in that next journey and keeping and moving forward. So this is myself. My name is Cassie Howard, and then Julia is going to be helping me tonight as well. And so we're going to help you just uncover and reveal the beautiful things that are going to be happening in your next steps. And so I was supposed to be doing Jordan, but I don't know if I see a Jordan on here yet. So if y'all guys could help me pass that on and try to get her on this Zoom, that would be great. But we do have another, and so Julia, you'll have Jordan, and then the other is going to be Ashley. So I have two Ashleys we're going to try to do tonight, Ashley Scott, and then Ashley, where you at, Herman. So I'm going to first start out with Ashley, and what it all looks like is I'm just going to ask questions, and we're just going to dive in and see where God leads. And so Ashley, can you unmute? Herman first.
I got it, guys. I got it.
Yay, you got it. No worries. No worries. How are you today? Are you good?
I'm great.
Awesome. Okay.
Eating cookies, watching soccer.
I love it. Okay. Tell everybody a little bit about your story and why now you're opening up your eyes to sharing more about Plexus.
I've been on the projects for 8-9 months, I think. I don't know, whenever Julia made me take them. I had a lot of inflammation, a lot of pain, a lot of stomach issues. And she thought that they would help me. And so, oh, hey, buddy. And so I've been taking them and really didn't think about the business side of it ever. And then went to convention and realized how much opportunities there that I'm missing out on.
Okay, so when you said opportunities you were missing out on, what opportunities did that open up to you that you might not have seen before?
Sharing the products with people and helping them in ways that I never really thought about. I guess keeping it to myself is kind of selfish because I know a lot of people, and just being a nurse too, I obviously have that servant heart. I want to help people, and I didn't think about the fact that keeping it to myself and not really talking about it was limiting other people from having the good experience and feeling better.
Right. And I think that pivot switch is huge for a lot of us because I can tell you I didn't start for the business. No way. So that's incredible that you decided and you saw that switch in that. So how are things going on sharing and things of that nature right now?
So. I mean, I'm sharing more on social media, which I've never been big on social media, so I'm trying to figure that out. Um, but and having a little bit more conversations with people. It's just I think I've talked about before, like in team meetings, like just finding the time to and being more intentional is my issue because I feel like I'm go 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 all day long, and I need to be more intentional when I am have a 10-minute break or whatever instead of reading or doing something else, like taking the time to check in on messages or share something. That's where I'm lacking right now. And I reached out to Julia. I think her and I are going to get together and come up with an action plan to figure out how my day should be, I guess, scheduled so that I'm getting more opportunities to reach out to people because that is one thing I feel like I am lacking right now.
Yeah. So on intentionality and finding the time, have you ever thought about setting alarms?
Yeah, I had a shame.
Yes, I haven't done it though. I've thought about it.
Well, maybe this is something we do tonight. So I think that the hardest thing, raise your hand if all of you feel like some days you just don't have the time to send one message, right? All of us. But I think that when you figure out how important this opportunity is and you
Mm-hmm.
don't take it lightly, before your head hits the pillow each night, you send one message, two messages, three, whatever your non-negotiable is, and you set a
Mm-hmm.
timer because do you feel like when you're messaging, is it more squirrely, like you're doing other things or do you feel like you have the time? Like, tell me a little bit more about that.
No, I'm definitely in the middle of doing other things where I'm trying to message people and do like 8 other things at one time. I don't I need to time block where I'm like, okay, this 10 minutes I'm only going to message people even if it's just 10 minutes, like taking advantage of that time. And because I'm sure I have a lot more time than I realize. I just am a mom. And
Yeah.
we all know what that's like.
Oh, we all do. And I really love there was a call that somewhere, I don't know where, but busy people, I think we forget to reach the obstacles of busy people. Busy people are the most powerful people because they know how to get things done, right? And so with all that we have to do is hone in for you is what that 5-minute timer looks like. You're setting a
Mm-hmm.
timer. So maybe when you're sitting down, it's like, okay, I have 5 minutes right now. I'm going to hide myself in the bathroom and tell all my kids I'm going to the bathroom, whatever that looks like. And maybe it's just that setting that intentional time of like, okay, for 5 minutes, I'm going to one, start with prayer. And then two, I'm going to green light. Green light's one of our absolute favorite things to do. And so green light just means who's active right now. And sometimes I'll see people and I'm like, I just don't feel led to talk to that person. But there could be people right there that you could reach out to. So then those 5 minutes, you might green light. Hopefully this helps all of you guys. If you're like trying to figure out systems, the winning day is my favorite. But if you're just getting started and getting your feet wet, the winning day might be too much, but maybe it's perfect for you. So the winning day sheet, it literally breaks down 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, and you set timers so that okay, I can't reply now because I'm on to the next thing. And that's the hard part is like moving on to the next thing because you've got to keep going. It's set in a incremental way because of the algorithm. But if not, green light, you guys, green light, even if you have 5 or 10 minutes before you go to bed. And a lot of the times I'm just starting conversation or I'm being bold, like, Ashley, you're on my heart right now. You popped up. And have you ever thought about doing what I do? I truly believe that you've been incredible at it. You're a nurse, you're an awesome mother to so many. And I know that you're busy and most people don't take in consideration busy people get things done. And I know that you're a get things done person. So would you ever be open to having a quick conversation with me about possibly making some extra income? Again, I don't know if it's for you or not, but I can't miss the opportunity that I feel like God is calling me to reach out to you about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if you can just start those conversations, that's where then seeds get planted. And I think a lot of us, when we get discouraged, it's because when nobody reaches back out, we're like, oh, I'm done. See, I did 5 messages and nobody said anything. But you're planting seeds, and those seeds take time to grow. And I think the exposure rate right now is like 18 to 21 exposures, guys. 18 to 21 exposures. That means posting and reaching out. Because here in the chat, really quick, how many times do you feel like Plexus was brought up to you? Like before you even tried it? I can tell you it was years for me, like years. Six years, 6 months, a year. I mean, everybody's going to be, different. I was in a group for 3 months, 2 years, 6 to 7 months. Like, are you seeing that? Could you imagine if we all posted one time or reached out one time? All the people on this call would be missed.
Good perspective.
Because all these people just needed time to realize, I mean, I did, to realize that this was the journey God has called me into. But it wasn't a like, oh, okay, all right, Carissa or whoever, I'm ready right now. I'm glad you told me that one time, dude, I'm all in. Those are unicorns. And we do have a few every now and then that happen that way.
Yeah.
But the majority of it is, as you can see, 99% of this call are people that needed more than just one exposure. So what else do you feel like is your stuff? So right now, the biggest thing is time and organization, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And what else do you think that you feel like you need help with right now?
Maybe, I need to actually get on the app and read about all the different products, because I've only taken like Triplex for so long. I really don't know about the other products and what they're like, even what we offer, since I'm so new. So I do want to dive into and see exactly what all products we have and learn about them, so I know how to kind of talk to people about certain things instead of texting Julia constantly.
True. But that's what also your sponsor is for. When you're so brand new, you guys don't ever hesitate to not sharing because you don't know something. And so, dive in, but maybe set a small time where it's like, I'm going to watch one video a night and I'm going to do 10 to 15 minutes of reaching out. And that's what you do every single night before you go to bed. So that then you're gaining the video knowledge that you're wanting to learn. If you guys are not on boards are incredible and everything is there right now. Or the app is really diving into great things. The Plexus Go app. If you don't have that downloaded, download that, especially if you're extremely brand new. Plexus Go app. You have everything at your fingertips.
Hey, I have to pop off real quick. I'm getting a call about a patient.
Oh, okay. No worries.
I'll be right back.
I'll close up. You're okay. So I hope that helps all of you guys, because as long as you have to set your own intentional thing, what are you going to do every single night that's going to move the needle? And moving the needle isn't posting. That's like watching a billboard and you're like, oh, that billboard's great. It's pretty. And then you continually pass it every single day, but there's nothing more that catches you to that unless it's starting to like shine or do other things. But you really need that personal connection or touch to really dive into something. So, hopefully that helped you guys. And Ashley, I cannot wait to see your journey, and we will definitely figure out a plan for you once we get you going. Okay, Julia, we have time. Would you start with, let me see. I think I saw Jordan pop on really quick. Let me see. Jordan, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay, good. There you are. Here.
Awesome.
Great. I'm going to let Julia take it away.
Okay.
Hey, Jordan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Welcome. Have you been coached before?
No, I have not. I had a coaching from Angie yesterday, but I haven't got on any of these groups and had one done.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm excited for this to be kind of your first experience here. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what brought you to Plexus, and how is it going so far?
So I started because I have had a ton of health issues. I was really sick. And my really good friend Kathleen, she pushed me finally to start this wonderful journey, and they've made me feel so much better. I feel like a completely different person, to be honest. And that just helped me to want to share my journey with everybody. I'm like vomit plexus everywhere all the time. So I just love it, and I love the community, and I'm really eager to see my growth.
That's awesome. Well, first of all, congratulations, because honestly, just like Ashley was saying, a lot of people will get into this and use the products and they just keep it to themselves. And so I'm super proud of you. That's a huge step in the right direction of just being selfless enough and bold enough to know if you feel better on these products for even a short amount of time, that can be somebody else's story for so many people. So first of all, pat yourself on the back, because that's a huge selfless move right there. And I'm so proud of you for that. So good job.
Thank you.
You are so
Thanks.
welcome. So tell me what rank you are right now.
I'm gold.
You're gold. And how long have you been doing it?
I started the products the beginning of April.
This year?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, let me just tell you this. You don't even understand how amazing that is yet. Because I will tell you, I went to gold and senior gold, and Cassie was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And I was like, okay, that's great. And then it wasn't until I started getting around the groups and actually being involved in the process of the team stuff, going to convention, till I realized really how many people it takes a while to get to gold. Some people spend a year or two getting to gold. So that is amazing in itself. Congratulations. That's
Thank
huge.
you.
You are so welcome. You're clearly doing stuff right. Let's just put that right out there up front. Okay. So what is it that you feel like you like the most coaching around?
I'm sorry, you cut out. What, can you repeat that?
That's okay. I'm going to remind everybody, if you guys are on here, sorry, I just kind of pushed my button. If you guys are on here and you haven't muted yourself yet, it doesn't automatically mute tonight. So if you guys will make sure that you're muted, that would be amazing. My question to you, Jordan, was what is it that you feel like you need the most support around from us tonight?
I'm really working on my confidence. I'm trying to put myself out there like live.
Okay.
I've done a couple on Facebook and a couple on TikTok. And I get so nervous, and Angie always tells me, she's like, smile, like you got to smile. So I'm like trying to work on that.
When you did your lives?
Well, after I felt great, like I was like, oh, I did it. Like it wasn't as bad, but it's just the anticipation of getting on there and doing it,
Yeah. Well, first of all, you did a huge thing by pushing past that. That shows, I want everybody to see, that is a sign right there. That is a leadership sign that you're exhibiting automatically, which is amazing, because something's uncomfortable, but you're doing it anyways. And you just know that it's worth it to touch somebody who may have been your story, right? To be that light shining for those people. So that's incredible. Okay, continue on. Continue to tell me how it went.
So actually I did my testimony live through the Real People, Real Stories.
Okay.
It was the night I got back from the beach, and I was really hard on myself. So I did it, and I was like, I need to redo it. Like, so I literally got on Facebook and did a live and redid it for myself and went back and watched it. And I was like, that was much better. But I'm hard on myself about it. So I'm getting there.
Why are you hard on yourself?
Probably the fear of being judged and not saying the right things, or, people thinking, oh, well, does she really know what she's talking about? Things like that.
Who are you afraid that's going to judge you?
Just the public.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you feel like they're going to judge you on?
I don't know. I overthink it really. Like, really, it's probably fine. Like, I know it's fine. And like, I'll ask like Kathleen and Angie, I'm like, well, was it okay? Did I say enough? Or, I just like nitpick.
Yeah.
And
So you
always
say-
it's like, oh no, it was great. But
Yeah.
it's just in my head,
Right. And those little things are in our head for a reason. So you say you feel like somebody's going to judge you, and it's why you probably are so hard on yourself. If you were to guess at what you felt like somebody was going to judge you on, if that little person that's sitting on your shoulder telling you people are going to judge you, what do you feel like it possibly would be?
My knowledge of the products.
Okay. Do you feel like you know the products well enough to use them yourself?
I do.
Okay. Do you feel like you have resources that know the products better than you? So if you had questions or other people had questions that you could utilize and call them or text them or something?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So is that thought that you're having, is that a truth or is that a lie?
It's a lie.
Okay. So that is one of the biggest things throughout my personal journey that I have had to learn also, is to remind myself to, number one, take every thought captive, right?
Mhm.
The word tells us that all of our thoughts, they create action of some sort, or they create disaction. I'm not even sure if that's a word, but we're going to make it a word tonight.
Mhm.
So if you think about the thoughts that you have whenever you're posting, whenever you're thinking about your own confidence, I challenge you to think about that thought and ask yourself the question of, is this truth or is this a lie? Because a lot of times when we're super critical on ourselves, there's a lot of lies that we've believed for a long time. And at some point we have to be willing to stop that and say, that's a lie. I'm going to start believing the truth. So let's dig into some of the truths. So what types of things do you feel like you do really good at?
I feel like I'm really good at talking to people. I care a lot. I love to help people. So when I, see that people are suffering from, whether it's anxiety or ADD or gut health, I'm really good at that, reaching out. I'm pretty good at being bold and open about it.
Okay.
Oh, my best friend just said I'm wonderful at that.
We agree. Okay. What else?
I'm eager to learn about it.
Okay.
I like for people to tell me what I need to work on to be better.
So all of this stuff that you mentioned, you just literally rattled off 7 amazing qualities that any of us would love to have. And also, let me just mention, love to have on our team. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things that I feel like sometimes we give more attention to the negative than we do the positive. And I think that is one thing that I would say. Do you have, I don't know what you do for yourself in the sense of whether you have quiet time, whether you meditate, like whatever that looks to you. But I would almost do some journaling. And because you're talking about growing in your confidence and you're wanting to grow in that confidence, and I would challenge you to write down some affirmations and utilize those on a regular daily basis. So we had a challenge at one point where I think it was like 100 affirmations. You had to write 100 affirmations about yourself, and you had to read them aloud to yourself every day. And so I won't go crazy and tell you 100 unless you just want to do 100, but I would say start off with 50. Make it a point to do some journaling and literally think about 50 affirmations that you know that you are good at. Whether it's God's called you to something specific or like whatever that is for you, make a list. Or Cassie said of even over 15. I like big numbers. Sorry, Jordan. But you can definitely start off with 15 and then add 15. You know what I mean? Like if 15's really actually comes up and you're like, that only took a few minutes, let's do another 15. But there is some truth around how our brain absorbs things when you actually read those, but when you read them aloud and you hear them and start to really think about those more often than you do the criticisms, if that makes sense. Does that sound like that would be doable?
Yes.
Okay. Have you done that exercise before?
I have not.
Okay. I would highly encourage you doing that and then really reading those back and utilizing those until you're feeling that more confidence, and then change them and make them more than what you had before. Because if we've learned anything in this industry / in this company and our coachings, is that we're constantly growing humans, right? We're ever evolving into better forms of ourselves if we're doing it correctly. And so that is definitely something that I would highly encourage you to do. I think Cassie mentioned a book too, that she's mentioned before. I honestly need to look at it, but it's Get Over Your Darn Self. I think it might have a different word in there other than darn, but it is, I've heard other people say that that's a really good book. And I know that's a really good book too. So that's something. Do you read ever? Are you a reader?
I am. I do Audible. Like I have a really hard time sitting still and like reading. But I'm up and moving around a lot, so I like to listen to books.
I am the 100% same, my friend. I don't do reading books real well, but I'm gonna guess that it's probably on Audible. Cassie, do you know if it's on Audible? She has Audible too, but I would look for it there and definitely see if it's there, because that one definitely could be one to help a lot with kind of your mindset and really kind of stepping that level up.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Yes. Thank you.
Good. You're welcome. Is there anything else that you want to be coached over tonight while we have just a couple more minutes?
I don't think so. I think that covers a lot. I really appreciate you.
Oh, you are so welcome. I appreciate you. And a lot of the girls are saying that they do have it on Audible. So yay for you.
Yeah, I'll get it.
So definitely invest in that. And I am so proud of you, girl. I cannot wait to just continue to watch you fly. I think it's amazing. You're doing exactly what you should be doing and you're growing just the way that you are. So remember this, you are in the right place at the right time where God wants you right here and right now. So you're never too early. You're never too late. You're in the right place at the right time. So good job. Good for you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome, Jordan.
Amen. And so on that book, just know there is a lot of cussing, but it is a really good book for one that's like, it puts you in your place. And I highly recommend every single person reading it and just like, just ignoring the bad words. But my other favorite that I'm diving into right now that I feel like all of us should really read is You're the Girl for the Job. I'm telling you that book, me and Teresa are doing it every morning at 7 a.m. and I can't put it down. Like it's that good. And I'm not a book reader. And so I'm not for sure it's on Audible, but it is very, very good. And so dive into that. Keep growing yourself, and we cannot wait to see you and where your next journey is and that next step and seeing your goal. Have you thought about when that's going to be?
So my goal was to be Ruby by the end of summer. Yes. So that's my goal.
Girlfriend, if you move that pace, you're going to be acquiring a cruise as well.
I got it. I got the cruise.
That's incredible.
Good for you. You guys, look at this. She started in April. That is amazing. Way to go, Jordan. That's awesome.
Here's the
Thank
thing
you.
that I think that we discredit. Did you remember at the beginning of the call, everybody, that it took several people several months, right? Jordan, you could have a Jordan in a crowd right now that you haven't talked to yet. And this is why it's so key to do those every single night before you go to bed. Have good conversations with people, and don't just build relationships, because building relationships is great, but you really need to dive into more conversation on why people need this and need these products. I tell my team, and they know this, like, how do you build a business team? I'm asking a question. I'm hoping some of you
Oh,
will.
you work for it.
Yeah, but my team should know this one.
Build relationships.
Nope. I mean, you do.
Oh.
How do you build a business?
One block at a time. I don't know. I'm not sure where you're going with.
It's okay. It's okay. You ask for business builders. You can't build a business without other business builders. So like, that's the key, is that if you can find product taker and customers all day long, right? All of us can. Jordan, you totally can. But now that next step is when you start, as all of you are just getting on your journey. Now it's having conversations about people doing this alongside of you, because if not, you're going to be on a boat all by yourself trying to row it, and it's going to get really heavy and that boat is going to sink. You have to start having other people row with you. And so that's why it's super important to ask people about this opportunity and doing it with you. So that's the other thing I really highly recommend a lot of you guys doing. And that's honestly most of the scarier part. But the only scary part that you have to realize is they can either say yes or no, and it's their choice. And you just keep moving on, because you could have another Jordan in another crowd. You just haven't got to that crowd yet. So Jordan, you got to find another Jordan.
I know, I've been looking.
How's those conversations going?
So I have a couple people that are wanting to do the business. One is like more skittish, like, so I'm working on like building like her confidence and helping with her posts. Another girl, she wants it. She's pretty busy. Actually, I have like 4 people who want to do the business. It's just, I've got to put the spark in their eye like I saw it. So I'm working on that. And I have high hopes for them.
Now I'm going to ask a question everybody's probably wanting to know is, how did you get the spark? And then how did you ask other people to do the business?
The spark came to me when I woke up one day and I felt so good. I wasn't sick, and I was floored by these products. So the spark it hit me. It just hit me overnight. And when I talk to people, I share my testimony, I share my experience, and I share how amazing this company is, how amazing the people are, the compensation plan, and I share like what I have gained from it, how much I've made, like my fast start bonuses, and that normally pulls them in pretty quick.
Yeah. And I think that sometimes you have to realize that some of you might not have her story yet, but that doesn't mean you can't borrow somebody else's story to help gain confidence and help somebody else gain vision as well. So know that. Joey, what were you going to say? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jordan.
So I was just gonna say also, like my friend, I try to tell her like every small win matters. Like even though like it's not a big win or a big overnight, I feel completely different. I'm like, every small win, every little thing matters. And, people see that and share every small win.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just thinking too, kind of along the lines of what Cassie was saying is, and I don't have like the greatest testimony with the products. I do have some testimony, but I don't have like a huge life shifting testimony. But I have experienced enough, and I have met so many people and heard so many testimonies that I know that they'll work for other people. And I think that's something too that we have to understand is, even if we don't have a huge testimony, or maybe it's just that we are just brand new, having faith. And that's one part. If you're growing somebody's faith, you got to make sure to really plug them in to product information, diamond docs, things like that, to give them belief in what they're doing. Because if we hear enough testimonies, then you start having faith in the testimony of the product, and you know it can work for other people. And I think that's something to always keep in mind, is just the fact that it is definitely, clearly, there's tons of us on here that have proven that they work, and they work really well.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for sharing, Jordan. I hope this helped you keep growing and just keep following and moving forward, and know that like the journey is just getting started, and we're all excited to see you keep moving forward. Same with Ashley. I see she popped out on again. I cannot wait to dive into her a little bit more. I know she had to go earlier. But we have a few more minutes. Julia, did you get my message?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, if you can,
Okay.
that would be great.
Okay. Ashley Scott, you're up, sister. We've got
I
about
have to follow that rock star. Oh my word. She's amazing.
Hey, remember, we're not comparing right now. This is your journey.
That's right.
Like, that's amazing.
She is amazing. It's true. I agree. But so are you, my friend. You've done a lot. So tell me what let's tell everybody who Ashley is, what your rank is, what you started using Plexus for, real quick.
Okay, so I'm silver. I've been silver for a couple years. I've been with Plexus for like 3. I was with Plexus before and quit, and they had never introduced me to the business, never followed up anything. So as an ambassador, I want to follow up. I want that to be my goal. I started back for my son because his eczema, he was passing out after track meets. Man, what else? Migraines. Like, he was just a complete mess. Stomach issues, like missing probably 80% of school because his stomach was hurting so bad on the daily. So I started for him, got him all healed up, and now he's 19 and decides he doesn't need it. So now he's back in the same boat.
Kids.
On him again. So that's kind of a quick rundown.
Okay. Awesome. What do you feel like you most could use coaching around tonight?
Closing. I have a lot of trouble closing. Like, I'm better at reaching out. Like, if they're on my mind, I just do it. I just hit send. But the closing, I get stuck on those conversations at the end.
Okay. So why don't you explain or show me or give me an example of what that might look like?
So like this one girl, I reached out because her daughter has headaches. And then I'm like, this is just a specific one for today. And then I'm like, well, how really, like, ingredient wise does Plexus help with headaches? And I can't answer that. Like, I don't know. I know it does. I know there's a ton of testimonies, but I don't know how to answer that. And
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm rambling. That's okay.
Okay, you're fine. I just was going to ask you, what information have you given her so far?
None. I reached out. I've given her none.
Okay. Hey, that's a start. That's okay. So, and she asked you about ingredients.
No, she isn't the first one that asked me, like, how does Plexus help with headaches? I see, you're posting it does. How does it?
Okay. So have you have access to our Powered by Faith page, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're on there. Okay. So there's a lot of really good information about gut health and relation to how it works through your whole system and inflammation. So when it comes to trying to educate people, I feel like sometimes they're not necessarily really looking for a specific answer. They're looking for kind of a roundabout answer of why these can help for them. So you have to remember that even though people ask specifically what's in them, you can send them what's in them. Okay. But if you're really addressing the fact that their gut is the true issue, I would almost think that sending them just even the there is a link, Cassie, you might have to help me here, but there's a link to talking about how gut health helps with your immune system. And it is a great video. It's like 3 to 5 minutes. And it basically tells people how your system, your gut plays such a vital role. And that alone could potentially answer her question, because it can show her how the buildup of inflammation in your system over time causes tons of different symptoms, not just headaches. Everybody's a little bit different in what it causes, but using, like Cassie said, using that third-party validation, the videos that Plexus gives us with the triplex, you could totally send her something like that. And then you can even shoot her over a list of the ingredients so she can see what's in them. And just that information may be enough to really help to answer the question that she asked without giving a ton of details. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I will look at that video. I will try to find that.
Okay.
I'm trying to find out what you're saying.
Yes, no. And that's, you're good. And Cassie's recording too, so that might be helpful to go back to that. But I would I use that video specifically. And I think, Alicia, you asked where you find that video. That video is actually on YouTube. But I do believe, Cassie, I know it's been shared in Plexus like pages before, but maybe we can share it, a link of it in the threads or something.
Yeah. We'll make it float just like this video, how fast it went, where everybody changed,
right.
pivoted.
Yeah.
So,
It's
you have the link, Jordan. See, Jordan, can you pop it in here?
Oh yeah, definitely pop it in
Yes,
here.
give me just a second.
Okay, thank you. And if you
But
guys have boards is truly incredible to dive into, where you can plug everything into one app. So then you always have it and you don't have to keep searching for things all the time.
Yeah, you can even label it gut health video and just stick it in there. But I would definitely, when it comes to addressing some of their objections, when you have an objection, go to your Powered by Faith page, our team page, and type that objection in, or like the keyword, inflammation, headaches, PCOS, and find a good article and send it to them, because most of those articles are super helpful. And a lot of people just need affirmation that gut health is a real thing. And I know that seems crazy, but it is still very new. And this is coming from me as a nurse who's been a nurse for 24 years. Gut health is still very new to medical, not to mention the layperson. So just helping them to kind of connect those dots may help you to really get her sold on that. And then the other thing I would suggest, Ashley, is after you give her some education material, have a little bit more conversation with her, and then ask her if it would be okay for you to send her a testimony and connect her with a testimony that to you kind of sounds like what you've talked with her about. Does that help?
Yes, it does. And I can't think of examples, just solid examples of my closing, but generally, I don't know. I see where some people are bold and they're like, so are you ready? And I have a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? I bet you if you practice it a few times, it would get easier as you do it. Because I think that is really, and honestly, you don't want to jump into it if you haven't really had a really good, if you haven't had a really good conversation with her. You don't want to jump right into that, because you don't want her to feel like you're trying to sell her. You truly want her to know you're here to help her. Cassie had a good question. Why do you have trouble with saying that? Why do you have trouble with saying, are you ready? Are you ready to jump on it? Or whatever you want to say, however you want to attack that.
I think because I feel pushy about that. I feel bold, and that's not my personality yet. I'm working on boldness.
So you want to?
I want to be bolder.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's just maybe the confidence even would play a.
Do you remember how Shara sold you on it after she had a conversation with you?
Not really, because I think I reached out to her maybe first, because I had tried it in the past and I knew it would help my boy.
Yes.
But then She did have to work with me a little bit to actually get me to order. So I don't remember what she actually said.
Okay. Yep. So why do you feel pushy whenever you say that? Why do you feel like that's something that sounds pushy?
I don't know. I imagine myself as those people on the street that are like trying to give you stuff as you walk through Branson Landing or something and pull you into a store.
You're so funny.
Probably a lot in my head.
So do you feel like coaching is helpful?
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel like it's something that helps you grow?
Coaching? Yes.
Do you feel like it's something that you feel like would be beneficial to do more of?
Probably. Just
Okay.
reaching out to Sarah would probably be beneficial. I keep a lot to myself.
So are you ready to do that?
Yes, because I want to grow. Like I am so tired of being silver.
So you've had all of your questions answered, and I just asked you if you were ready to do that. Did that feel good?
And good one,
Did that feel
Julie.
good to you?
No.
Okay.
I was hesitant to like actually jump in there, but
So do you
didn't
think
know I
it'd be possible that you're creating that scenario in your own mind?
absolutely.
Do you think it's possible that you have people that you're talking to that are hurting enough to know that they just need to be asked, are you ready to feel better?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would try that on a few times. You don't have to ask them if they're ready to order. Just say, so are you ready to feel better?
That is so good.
Does that feel better to you?
That feels a lot better to me.
Good.
I'm writing that down.
Okay. Because that, I think, honestly, sometimes you just have to trick your brain into realizing that, number one, it's not scary. And number two, people need what you have. And
Mhm.
it's deep down in their hearts, when you dive into them and you really invest in them and they feel like you are asking them questions because you care, they're ready to go faster than we realize.
That is a very good point, and you just totally proved that. So
Excellent. My work here is done. I'm just kidding. Good. I love it. Was that helpful, my friend?
oh, so helpful. Like this like excitement just but kind of buzzed through me. Like
Good.
do that. I
Good.
get ready to feel better. I've just
Yeah.
never reworded it. I've gotten stuck on that question, and my brain wasn't thinking outside the box.
Awesome.
Very helpful.
Yay.
Hey, we're so excited for you. And I feel like this is why the coaching is so good, because everybody, even on this call, even if they're not coached, you feel like you're being coached because you're getting a lot of those same questions answered for yourself. And so I hope that all of you took away a lot of great things. I hate that we didn't get to other Ashley's and finish hers, but that's another time, and we're going to do it another time, and I cannot wait. But I just remember, the more you're holding back, the more you're holding back on somebody else's journey too, to feeling better. And so just those little bitty tweaks are really key in moving that needle. And it doesn't have to be a car salesman, right? We don't have to be pushy or have to be that person. Don't be that person. Hopefully you're not. You be you. And most people know you and love you, and they're going to feel that. And that's why they've already come to you, or why they're replying to you. The ones that don't reply are just scared to tell you no yet. And sometimes I just call those people out. I'm like, Shara, is everything okay? And then usually I get a reply back. And I'm like, hey, I know that we chatted in the past, and if this isn't something for you right now, that is a-okay. But could you let me know? I want you to know that I'm here for you. And so sometimes I just call people out when they need to be, like, when they need an exit, if that makes sense. So just always continually follow up and love on people well. That's our job. Love on people well. Okay. So tonight, I love giving a challenge. So you need to make some non-negotiables tonight. And what is that going to look like? How are you going to move the needle? you know, figure out what your non-negotiables this month is going to look like. Every single night before you go to bed, what is it? Is it going to be, I'm going to make sure I reach out to 5 people, and maybe out of those 5, 2 of them are business and the rest are products. Maybe it's, I'm going to do that plus watch a video so I can learn more about this opportunity as well as learn more about the products. That's simple. You guys, that shouldn't take more than 15 to 20 minutes to start those quick conversations. So I hope that helps. Figure out what yours are, and we cannot wait. Tell your sponsor. That is your accountability. So that's your homework, is tell your sponsor what your non-negotiables are. Okay. So glad that you guys came tonight, and I cannot wait to see where you guys are going to go next. Bye, guys.
Good night, guys.